Now let's move on to behavior modifications for visual, spatial, logical, mathematical, verbal, linguistic, solitary learners. Some of these you'll see are a little repeated. That's because they kind of bridge the gap between a couple of them. Here we're going to want to present material visually. A visual learner is going to need visual examples, graphic organizers. Use gestures with verbal instructions. Write instructions after the verbal is given. So the opposite of the ones previously. Here you're going to give instructions orally and then make sure you write them down so they can refer back to it. Teach good note-taking. So important to teach good note-taking. So they may want to write everything down there ever was, and they're going to have to learn not necessarily shorthand, but a way to refer back to notes, know what they learned about without having to write every single solitary word and article of speech down. Silent work. They love silent work. It's helpful. Noise, auditory noise, can really be bothersome. Sticking with this type of learner, we also want to have visual aids, using verbal cues to picture in the mind. Picture drawing while you're teaching is not a way of disobeying. It is a way for them to engage visually during long auditory presentations. Allow them some scratch paper, allow them to take some doodles down, and don't be offended by it. Just know that that's their way of engaging while you're talking. Color coding. We've talked time and time and again about color coding. Color coding is so great for anything and everything you can think of. Little notes, colored Sharpies, colored crayons, colored pencils, colored Post-it notes. All of these things can help maintain things visually organized. Greater amounts of light and quiet. We talked about needing for silent reading. If it could be a bright room, it helps this type of learner to kind of stay awake and aware. This concludes our short segment of number 3 for classroom management. Next, you guys get to enjoy segment 4, which deals with multi-age homeschool rooms. Who doesn't have a multi-age homeschool room? Perhaps somebody with twins, but we'll see you then. Have fun.